All right, today we're having a look at the LENSGO 348C wireless microphone system, and this is really quite a unique system. I have never heard of LENSGO before. I'd never heard of this microphone system before, but I have seen a few reviews on it, and they have been overwhelmingly positive. Now, this microphone system essentially has a feature set that I have never seen before, and this unique set of features means that if you are the type of person that needs this combination of features, there really isn't another microphone system out there that offers it. So this is probably the system for you. But it is kind of a quirky system, so there's a few things you really need to know before you decide whether this is the right wireless microphone system for you. And LENSGO did send out this kit for the purposes of making this video, but all the opinions are my own, and I have not been paid to make this video. Now, the first thing I really liked about this thing was the charging case it came in. It comes with this charging case, which is kind of, it looks like a big version of what sort of the units themselves look like. And inside you have a place to put the receiver, the transmitter, and the other transmitter. So if you get a 2-transmitter kit, you're going to have a space to put both of those transmitters, and you're going to have the receiver obviously in both kits. But it also leaves you with a little space here where you can put your cable. If you buy a lapel mic, you can sort of add that in and just stick that in there, so you can essentially fit everything you need in this little case and just throw it in a bag and away you go. Also, when you are charging, you can actually see the different units charging and their charging status through the case. So the units themselves have sort of little lights on them, and when they're red and blinking, it means they're charging, and when they're a solid red, it means it's finished charging. And you can see that right through the case, which I think is pretty cool. The other thing that is so good about this case is the fact that you can actually take the units with their wind muffs on and charge them with their wind muffs on. So there they sit in there with the wind muffs on, so you never really have to take the wind muffs off, which I think is a pretty cool little feature. And I think all the other systems I've seen, you actually do have to take the wind muff off to charge them. So essentially you just never take the wind muff off of the transmitters. Now, of course, all the audio you're going to hear in this video is coming straight out of the little transmitter itself and then just going straight into the camera. I'm not going to post-process it whatsoever. I am in a fairly reverberant room. I'm not in my normal studio. We're away from home right now, but I decided to try to get this video out. And I've just taken some blankets and thrown them around the room and just tried to sort of deaden down the reverb a bit, because this is an extremely reverberant room. But in my testing so far, I think the audio quality is pretty good. I have been actually quite impressed with the audio you're getting out of the little transmitters. Now, keep in mind, this set does not come with a set of lapel mics, which can be a good thing and can be a bad thing. I do like to see lapel mics included in the kits, but what I have found is with some of those sort of more budget-friendly, where they're putting a whole bunch of features and they're trying to give you a lot of stuff for a little bit of money, they often put in really, really bad lapel mics, something that you just might as well not get in the kit, and you might as well save the couple dollars that it cost them to put in and just throw them out. So I do appreciate the fact that they haven't just put in a very cheap set of lapel mics that were somewhat useless. So you do get good audio sort of right out of the transmitters themselves, as you're hearing now. But if you want to use a lapel mic, be a little bit more discreet, then you will have to buy that lapel mic separately. And these units are a little bit on the big side, so I do think that it could be worth getting a lapel mic, a good lapel mic, and using them with these units. And as you can see, this one's sort of pulling down on my shirt a little bit. It's not too different than sort of all the other ones out there, be sort of the Rode or the other ones, but they do seem to be a slight bit bigger. But keep in mind, you're getting a lot more in these little transmitters. And the key feature you're getting is you are getting a backup recording function where you can put an SD card actually in the transmitter, hit the little record button on the front, and it will record a backup track of everything the transmitter is hearing. That way, if we get a breakdown in connection, or there's something goes on wrong with the camera, or the cable isn't plugged in, or you're too far away and you're out of range, you can still go back to that backup recording and make use of that, and you haven't ruined your whole project. So I think for people that absolutely need a backup recording, then that really sort of moves this kit up towards the top of the list. This is a little bit different than what Rode has done with their Rode Wireless Go 2, because they have an internal recording that you have to plug into the computer and pull off, where this has just a normal SD card, can handle up to a 32 gig SD card, which you can just eject at the end of the project and sort of put into the computer. Or if you're sort of recording a few different projects, you can have those little cards. They're very cheap. Throw them in, record for the day, take them out, sort of label them or put them in a little bag, and then the next day you can use a separate set of cards because you might not have an opportunity to figure out whether you lost audio during that recent shoot. So that is a capability you will not get with the Rode Wireless Go 2. Now, one of the other unique features of this system is they have magnetic clips. Now, this has some sort of pros and cons to it. Now, the pro is if you are going to just use this in your pocket with a lapel mic, you can take that clip off, you can take the wind muff off, and now you've just got this tiny little thing, no clip to get caught on anything, and you just stick that in your pocket, and I think that's going to sit in there really, really nice. Certainly much nicer than the units that you can't take the clip off. The second thing about the clip, which is an advantage, is when you are clipping it to a shirt like this, you can actually put the clip on, and then as I've done here, and then you can put the unit so it is sitting upright even though the clip is going sideways. So the unit will sit upright even though the clip is going sideways, which I think is good because it actually points the sort of little grill of the microphone up towards your throat. I know you see a lot of people with them off to the side, and although they are supposed to be microphones that pick up from all angles, they're not sort of directional microphones. What you will find is this microphone is clear at the top, but it's then surrounded by plastic, the rest of it. So it makes sense to me that if you are pointing the microphone this way, it is not going to get as good audio if you're pointing it up this way. So I think there is definitely an advantage to being able to sort of turn that little clip on its side and have that pointing up. Now the problem comes is it can also sort of swing around and end up going in any direction at times, depending on how you're moving. If you bump it really hard, it can potentially come off. On top of the camera, it is also the magnetic clip thing. So I see when it's clipped up there, depending on how I've got the cord, it will start turning around and being pointing in any who knows direction. So the units can have a bit of a life on their own because of the flexibility and the movement you get because of that sort of little magnetic joint. So that is sort of a pro and con feature. And to be honest, I'm still not sure what I think of it. Now this kit has a transmission distance of up to 70 meters, which is huge. I think it's second only to the Rode Wireless Go 2, but certainly of the budget-friendly wireless microphone kits, this has the farthest transmission distance you can get. So when you look at this specific feature set, it's got the SD card, it's got the longest audio transmission, and it has this removable sort of magnetic clip. If this is a unit that you're going to mainly keep in your pocket, you want the longest transmission distance that you can get aside from the Rode Wireless Go 2, and you want an SD card to back up your audio, this is the kit. This is the only kit that has those combination of features. So I think really it's up to you. You can hear what the audio quality sounds like. I think they are pretty darn good, and I would not hesitate to recommend them to someone if you needed that specific set of features. And if you're interested in getting the best in photo and video with the gear that you can afford or the gear that you already have, that's what I do on this channel. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and don't forget to hit that bell notification.